What's going on? Your boy Chili back. Man, just back and forth. A lot of travel going on, but just wanted to have some fun on a Tuesday. I know practices have just started up with like the helmets and all that stuff. So for the big schools, my guy, Timeout Dev, always checking in early, and I'm grateful. My guy's working hard. I seen him at ASU practice. I stopped by ASU practice the other day to show some love. Got to see my guy Coben Bourget, who's up for the Werfel Award, which is a give back thing. And quite honestly, Coben, his brother Trenton. But let me focus on Coben a little bit. Coben definitely was huge and instrumental in the whole flight club thing. I thought I was done talking about Flight Club, but I guess it just kind of keeps going. So he was kind of instrumental helping me put down the rules and always volunteering, expanding it, having conversations with me about showing some of the younger teams love. And so I want to thank Coben, and I'll probably do that again in another show, another segment or whatever. I want to thank Coben Bourget for all his contributions to Flight Club. Without him, the extended part of the event might not exist. And he does more. He does more than just like the give back with my Flight Club event. He spends a lot of time, a lot of his own time, free time, coaching his Tucson Turf, the family brand of 7-on-7 football, kind of the AAU all-star version, and traveling around the country, making sure that those kids have proper guidance and coaching and things like that and structure. So I just really want to give my guy Coben his flowers early on. Some other things, speaking of giving out flowers, shout out to Maryvale and the community over there, the Carter brothers and everybody that helped put on the Will Johnson, Walter Nolan backpack drive. Giving away tons of backpacks and school supplies. There had to be like 1,000 backpacks there. It was absolutely insane. If you watch, I saw Lena Washington out there from Channel 12. Saw Greg Moore. Saw the infamous Greg Moore, if y'all are familiar. Some of y'all love him. Some of y'all hate him. Some of y'all love to hate him. But it is what it is. Saw my man Teo, Cardinal beat writer out there. Saw a bunch of people. So I thought that it was super cool. Papa Tucker, who's done a lot of things in the Valley, bringing the Cactus Boys 7-on-7 team out here with the SMSB connection, and then helping to build this Young Star brand. Speaking of the Young Star brand, I got to see my man Zion Lancaster, who was at Tolleson for a hot minute and then transferred out to Florida. And now he's going to begin his college journey. So it was just cool seeing a bunch of people out there. And this Maryvale team, I got to see a bunch of them athletes. They got numbers. They got good looking numbers over there. So, Maryvale's doing their thing. And shout out to all the schools that decided to let their kids participate and show up and get hooked up with some backpack and school supplies so that they would have the resources necessary to get their academic things done. Also, BJ Media, his media day over there at the 8 facility over there in Mesa was a huge success. I made it out there. Saw my little sister Chimi Moreno out there doing her media thing, interviews and all that stuff. And I saw everybody make it on the Max Preps with the whole 6'7" trolling the questions. Shout out to Brody Veers and Mason Lewis and all them boys over there at Basha with the 6'7". In case y'all don't know, maybe Gridiron will predict 6-7 wins for one of the teams tonight. But shout out to Max Preps for picking that up, and BJ Media, and all them kids for having fun. Trolling with the new lingo, Generation Alpha. But yeah, man, I definitely think that me and Gridiron, we're gonna break down some schedules here, and I definitely think he's gonna project 6 or 7 wins for one of the teams. I'm not sure. So, anyways, also, I'm curious, who everybody's running with in the college football game. I know the college football game came out a little bit ago. I know Damon Williams is a cheat code for Washington. Last year when I was playing, with the original new version, whatever. I was running with Pittsburgh. My man Eli Holstein, also somewhat of a cheat code, was very, very good, very, very talented. A little. Oh, here we go. A little less than 6-7 Fridays before AZHSFB starts. Okay. 6-7 is about to be the theme for Gridiron Show here. Inside the numbers. Maybe Gridiron will go inside the number 6 and 7 and try to break that down a little bit. But without further ado, we're going to get right into this. We're going to break down these schedules. My guy, Gridiron Arizona, as Eric Newman would say, the handsomest man in Arizona media, definitely beat out 6 or 7 media members to put that thing together. So just wanted to put that out there. But yeah, we're gonna get right to this, breaking down these schedules, and I can't wait. I'm super excited because I'm super curious to hear what Gridiron projects for one of these teams for sure. So stay tuned. And in about 6-7 seconds, we're going to be right back with my guy Gridiron Arizona and the Inside the Number segment. Oh, my guy Gridiron. What's going on, man? How are you doing?
We're a lot less than 6-7 weeks to go before the season. In 2 weeks, we're going to be talking week 1 for the small schools.
Okay, well, we almost have 6-7 viewers hanging out with us right now. So, yeah, this is definitely. Hey, did you get a chance to see that? Did you get a chance to see the boys from Basha make it onto Max?
I did, and I had no idea what this thing had originated from. I have since found the origin of the TikTok trend to be a song by Skrilla, apparently.
Yeah.
Dude.
Talking about LaMelo Ball.
Okay. Is that right?
I think it's talking about LaMelo Ball because he's 6'7" or something like that. I'm not for sure. I'm not so on top of the Gen Alpha lingo. We've officially passed 6-7 viewers. So, but yeah, I thought it was absolutely hilarious the way they were riding that thing. And I'm not sure. I wasn't quite sure BJ Media caught on to it when Brody Beers kind of dropped it first. I think he caught on when the third person,
6-7 people that went on and said, yeah.
I just thought it was hilarious. I just thought it was absolutely hilarious. So, what's it called? There's that. Oh, Zach Smith from Arcadia checking in. Maybe he's going to drop a 6-7 comment here. He's wondering if in 6 or 7 weeks we can break down Arcadia. So,
Arcadia will have played some games by then. So we might be previewing Arcadia's game in 6-7 weeks.
We might be previewing Arcadia
3 in a row,
game 6 or 7.
3 in a row for Arcadia to begin the season on the road. Starting up they get a cooler climb game for that last week of August. They get to go up to Prescott Valley to Bradshaw Mountain.
Oh man, okay, that's like 6-7 miles away, right? 67 miles away from them, right?
It's a little more than that, yeah.
All right. Hey, anyways,
70 degrees.
Oh, my guy Gridiron getting in on the fun. I love it. Hey, listen, Gridiron, we're gonna jump right into this because I am highly curious. I'm highly curious what your thoughts are on this. We're gonna break down 2 teams tonight. One of these teams originally, I would say 6-7 months ago, we had some concerns about them and what was going to happen. Since then, about 6-7 weeks ago, we decided, hey, this team might have the tools to put this thing back together and will definitely be more than 6-7 wins. So Gridiron
is right around the time of Flight Club, yeah.
Yeah, Gridiron, without further ado, we're definitely going to talk about this McClintock team, which Coach Offenberger has taken over, and he's assembled an amazing coaching staff over there. Mm-hmm. He's got his guy Manley, Coach Manley from Hawaii, coming out to help him out. He's got Coach Miller from Texas on the defensive side doing some things for him. And then he takes a longtime assistant over there at Saguaro, Coach Pimbert to be his offensive analyst, run game coordinator, kind of do it all coach for him. And then he's got Coach Johnson coaching his special teams, and Coach Bauman his SNC. And I got a chance to talk to him at Flight Club, and he told me that this has been one of the most impressive weight room cultures that he has seen in a while. And
I know that they went to camp also, which was something that they probably hadn't done for a while.
And don't forget, Coach Offenberger was at Saguaro for a variety of big weight room cultures, one of them led by Coach Caldwell, who's absolutely amazing in the weight room with his guys. But this
a little 0 dark 30 in the off season too.
Hey man, this schedule. Let's jump right into this.
Yep.
They get to start off with Camelback. They get Camelback at home, so they get to break open.
It's a Thursday. Change from that schedule. It's there. That's a Thursday. One of 3 Thursday games on the schedule for McClintock.
Okay. Well, this is going to be a heck of a way to start off. Camelback, I believe that's Coach Foster's crew, and they got some dudes that we actually like. A nice little quarterback over there that can do some things. And then Gilbert on the road, game 2. They're going to get an extra day to prepare for that, obviously.
Yep.
So that'll be good times. Gilbert has a new coach who's in his second year. year. And then after that, they get to do a little Tempe rivalry thing with Marcos Deniza, Coach Fig's squad. And after that, big game versus Westwood and the ASU commit. I hope I pronounced his name right. Sane Tanguay. I know that large, super excited about his Westwood crew. And McClintock goes on the road. After that, you got this game circled. Big game versus Horizon. I actually have some numbers on this that you might not have.
Probably don't have it. I don't have a lot of numbers.
So I am super excited to share this with you later on in the show. Horizon. At Horizon. This game.
It's a home game.
This game is a home game?
Yeah, there's another change from that schedule. I'm looking at the AIA schedule on my screen. So the first 4 should be, I think the first 4 we had right. We had a blue a home game because the Westwood game is a road game.
Okay, so Westwood's on the road.
Flip flop the Horizon and the Westwood sites.
Okay,
because Horizon is a home game.
Westwood's on the road. Horizon's at home.
Yep.
I'll let you go ahead. Go inside.
Everything else is right in terms of home road.
Okay, I'll let you go inside the numbers on this. Let's talk about Horizon and Coach D's squad.
Yeah, this is, of course, an open team from last season. Looking at the schedule, I think this is their biggest test in the first half of the season. And, of course, you got Bodie Zamorano in his 3rd year on varsity, the running back over there for the Huskies.
Stud. I love this Horizon squad. I love what Coach is doing over there, bringing them up and keeping a lot of those guys together. Moving on from Horizon, we get a Paradise Valley at home, and I always love what Coach Davis does with his Paradise Valley squad. I say this all the time and almost every year. There are a few coaches that get more out of their guys than Coach Davis. I remember the one year where he had 23 guys.
Yeah,
and
he's had a few years he had in the 20s.
And competed at the highest level with those guys. After that, they get buried.
From McClintock this year, as you can see, these last 5 games, they're out of that region that had Campo Verde in it, which of course was the team that beat them twice last.
After Paradise Valley, they go on the road versus Barry Goldwater, who's been known to run the ball a lot in the past.
They'll run the ball a lot.
I'm not sure what the offense is going to look like, but
it'll look pretty wing T is how it's going to look.
Okay. After that, they get Ironwood on the road,
yep.
And then they get Mesa Dobson at home, and then they finish this thing off with Sunny Slope and Royce Vanacore, super talented quarterback over there. Then I saw Kevin McCabe shout out. So Halloween night, they get Sunny Slope on the road. McClintock, why don't you break this game down?
Yeah, the 5A, of course, finishes the last week of October, which is Halloween this year. This could be for the region title. On paper, these look like maybe the 2 best teams in the region. Royce Vanacore, you mentioned him, the quarterback. He returns, had 14 passing TDs last season and 5 rushing.
Okay. Hey, this is going to be a tough game. This is going to be a tough game to finish up with. and a great way to go into the playoffs for McClintock. A little tease on how many games, I kind of think that they're going to win. And listen, Gridiron, I love this team.
Well, if they finish top 8, they will get a week off that next week too. Don't forget.
They will, and I think that is absolutely possible. This is a super talented team that's going to be super young. I am anticipating, based on some of the things that I saw at Flight Club and some of the things that I saw before Flight Club and heard, I think that they're going to have a handful of freshmen contributing and playing a lot. One of those is going to be Kaiden Agbunau, quarterback. I believe he's from Vegas via Hawaii.
Right.
Super talented kid, plays with Low Pro. He is a freshman. I anticipate he's going to start, but I do think that there's going to be packages for Isaiah Venegas, who led this team
who was
to
the quarterback of
Flight Club.
Flight Club. Mm-hmm.
And who absolutely did some things. They got another 29 quarterback who is absolutely special, who I've seen a little bit of, Seton Labato. I believe he's going to take over their freshman squad, but I just wanted to note that just because I think that he's a super talented kid. I do think that Kaiden is obviously going to be playing up and will probably take a majority of the reps at quarterback. After that, the running back room, they got running back athlete CP Parsons, who could be breakout player of the year. And I think that he's going to be eligible game 1, if I'm not mistaken. Another running back that they got over there, kind of a dual threat guy, big pass catcher, my guy Juice Otero, who is an absolute star at Flight Club. He can move out into the slot. He can move around and do a lot of things for that offense. And then a fleet of wide receivers. They got Daryl Brown, who's really starting to blossom, 6'4" kid, got some length. Hayden the Jet, 28 kid, twitchy, big playmaker, probably going to be featured in their special teams, kick return, punt return game. And then wide receiver athlete Jackson Whitaker, 29 kid. He's probably going to actually get a lot of opportunities to play defense. Offensive line. This is where Coach Offenberger thinks that we are going to see the rewards of what Coach Bowman has been doing in that weight room. They got guys like Michael Rivera, Michael Sanchez, Diego Gonzalez, all guys that are really, really developing. Diego Gonzalez is a guy that Coach Offenberger is super high on. Flipping around, checking out that defensive line. Nigel Thompson, anticipating that he'll be a 3-tech guy. Raw, he's an absolute animal, high motor kid. Jeremiah Hartman, long kid, about 6'3", 240. And then this kid they got a transfer from SAG. I can't remember the last name. His name is Lico. He's probably going to have to sit 5, but will be an absolute factor come game 6. Linebacking room, absolutely crazy, led by Taz Gorey, a 2026 monster. Taz. You got to love that name.
That's a linebacker name right there, isn't it?
And probably going to contribute a little bit on offense at running back. They got a couple more linebackers over here, three or four of them. Daniel Fuentes, who's probably going to move to edge rusher after they get some of these transfers in. Ryan Lee, a kid from Heritage. This kid's going to be an absolute stud. I think that he's going to be a D1 prospect. And then Christian Boone, a transfer from Mountain Plain. I believe he's going to have to sit 5. 27 kid, but once he's available game 6, he's definitely going to contribute. After that, their secondary looks super solid. Once they hit game 6, this secondary is going to be absolutely crazy. Aiden Whitaker is an absolute monster. Going to play both ways. Loves playing wide receiver, but I think that long-term his future is at defensive back. I think he's definitely a D1 guy. Safety athlete Tanawa Kawhi, 2029 kid. I think that he's going to contribute on both sides of the ball. Definitely going to be a factor for this team as they move forward. Preston Molina, 6'1", 190. He can do everything. The kid can absolutely do everything. Probably going to start at corner. And then another DB, A.B. Otara from Tolleson, going to sit 5, but he's definitely going to be a guy for them. I think, like I said, I think they're going to have 6 or 7 freshmen that are going to start and really contribute for them. Gridiron, I'm going to let you go ahead and go inside the numbers.
Starting would be amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be that many.
Definitely going to contribute.
Looking at McClintock, 9-2 last season, made the first round of the playoffs, lost 42-39 to Campo Verde. It was their first playoff appearance since 2019. The Chargers' last playoff win was in 2007. That was against Cactus. which would be before certainly any of the freshmen were born, certainly before most of the team was born. Head coach Nick Offenberger in his first year at McClintock, and their new region is the 5A Central Valley region. Now, quickly looking at last year's team gone are Jackson Knutson, the quarterback, wide receiver, running back Kamon Jackson, wide receiver Amari Scroggins, and wide receiver Khalil Bender, who has transferred to ALA Queen Creek. So pretty much all of that record-setting offense is completely gone, which is why we were so down on them back around April. And so it's kind of turned into like a Deion Sanders Colorado type team. I want to say they have 11 transfers on this team. So we'll see how this works out, especially come the second half of the year when you have guys who have been playing the first half of the season and then might get replaced or have to find a different minutes in getting in and out of games. But we're looking at what we think that they'll have on the field, and that's Kaiden Agbanog, the freshman quarterback, has offers from Hawaii, Sacramento State, Abilene Christian, and Georgia State. Played sevens for Low Pro and made the OT7 national championship. Running back, defensive back CP Parsons, a transfer from Hamilton. He's a senior. I don't know if he'll be immediately eligible or not. I was trying to figure out. I couldn't figure out if he played last year for Hamilton.
I don't think he did. I think he got injured.
Okay.
So I think that's why he's available game one.
Okay. Wide receiver Daryl Brown is a senior receiver. Then you also have Aiden Whitaker, wide receiver and cornerback. He's a junior, transferred from Saguaro, is a D1 player, has Kansas, NAU, and Sacramento State offers. Last season for the SaberCats had 542 yards receiving and 6 touchdowns. Wide receiver Tanoa Kawai, the freshman receiver, is a cousin of T-Mac, now with the Carolina Panthers. He already has offers from Hawaii, Sacramento State, Texas State, and Georgia State. And then on the line, you have Diego Gonzalez, a sophomore, 6'5", 235, has an offer from Sacramento State. And Michael Rivera, 6', 260, who has an offer from Sacramento State. And then defensive back, I was going to say Abe Owatara, the junior, is a transfer from Tolleson.
I don't know. I think it's AB, but
it was it was a big A with a little B. So I didn't know if that was a shorter way to say Abe without the E on the end, or if it's Ab. I don't know.
Okay. Well, somebody's going to let us know. Somebody's definitely going to let us know. So, listen, man, one thing you circled that Horizon game. I'm about to spoon feed Horizon, this bulletin board material. Mm-hmm. To my knowledge, and I followed Offenberger when he was coaching freshmen over at Saguaro, and I followed his career a little bit, obviously, when he was an assistant at Saguaro. To my knowledge, I don't think that he has ever lost to Horizon on any level as a coach. Mm-hmm. Whether head coach
used to dominate them in the day, including the very first year of the Open. I was at the game where they won, I think 49-3.
Well, and for the record, though, I do want to note. I believe that's the game that Jake Martinelli had to miss because he got hurt late in the season. So Horizon didn't have their starting quarterback.
Either a backup quarterback or a non-quarterback at QB.
Yeah. So
that was also the Saguaro team that made the first Open championship game against Chandler.
Yeah, they had some good guys on that team. I don't know. I mean, they had some ballers on that team. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to say that. So shout out to them. They were that Saguaro team was very, very well coached also. Yep. So there's that. Look, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say that there's a handful of tough games on the schedule. And then there's a handful of games that I think that McClintock would and must win. And I'm going to say that that's something to the tune of 8. I'm going to take McClintock to go 8-2.
8-2.
8-2.
The opponents for last season, when you look at these 10 games, were 50-52, but there were only 2 playoff teams. That would be Horizon and that would be Goldwater. And I think Goldwater will be down a little bit this year. I mean, they lost over 2,000-yard rusher there in Dylan Hayhurst.
All right, pause 1 second. Mm-hmm. This is a segment of Gridiron segment where he butters the team up just to hate on them in about 2 seconds or 6 or 7 seconds.
You might be surprised because as much as I have been down on the Tempe district and some of our other predictions here, this is a very manageable schedule. And if this team is able to come together as well as they look, statistically and as well as they looked at Flight Club, they seem to be a together team when they went to Tonazona. They got a coach who does have head coaching experience. He was over at Heritage Levine last season, right?
Yep.
So it's not his first time being a head coach. And you mentioned the staff. I'm actually going to go 9-1 for McClintock.
9-1
on the Chargers. Yes.
9-1. Gridiron is very high on the Chargers. Holy smokes. Gridiron. Look, you can't make me the hater at 8 wins, but you can definitely make Gridiron. Okay. Wow. Okay. There's a lot of 500 type teams that are on their schedule. 8-2, 9-1. That's wow. That is very, very impressive. Okay.
And I think the region's a softer region than the one that they were in last year.
I would definitely agree with that. I think that Coach Offenberger has to be super opportunistic with this schedule, with this situation. You know what? Let me go ahead and add the pressure. I'm going to jump to 9-1 also. I'm gonna jump to 9-1 also. I don't want to miss what I don't want to happen is I don't want to miss if they do hit 10-0 and I don't get to share the credit with Gridiron. So I'm gonna jump to 9-1 on this one.
Yeah.
I actually thought that this was a 9-win team anyways. I just wanted to play it safe and go.
Well, I certainly didn't back in April. I can tell you that.
No, I know that. 6-7 weeks ago, you thought
there wasn't a lot to look forward to when you looked at the results at the lower levels. I remember looking back.
Well, look, hey, and I'm going to tell you something.
The coach was gone, all this offense was gone. It was I'm not going to say it was a gimmick offense, but it was a unique offense that teams don't see every week. With the way that Knutson threw the ball up. I mean, he was throwing the ball, 30, 40 times a game.
And he had 3 of the best athletes on the field at all times, but Knutson was absolutely magical last year.
Yeah, it was the right way to run that team. Absolutely.
Coach Feld did an amazing job, an absolutely amazing job with the squad last year.
Got him to the playoffs for the first time in 5 years last season.
Magical run.
Had their most wins in a long time too. I think we looked back at it. It might have been like 30 years or something like that when you had come on the show.
Sheesh. Not man. They did some absolute things last year. All right. We're gonna move on. Both of us have McClintock at 9 wins. That's I don't want to say that's crazy, but other than Liberty, I don't know that me and you have kind of agreed on
we both had Marana at 9-1.
Okay. So we've agreed on 2 schools.
We both had Peoria at 9-1.
Okay, we've agreed on 3 schools.
Yeah.
We've broken down like 30 schedules.
With that high of a number, yeah. I didn't look at all. I didn't look to see if we matched with 6-7 wins.
Okay. All right. Okay. We're gonna move on. We got another team to break down. One of my favorite. I don't want to say one of my favorite teams, but it is one of my favorite teams. This is a school. Look, this is a school that has baited me out for coverage multiple times. And let me see. Hold on 1 second. I gotta bring this up. Boom. Are we gonna bring?
But quick back to the McClintock schedule. The other 2 Thursday games are Horizon and Paradise Valley. For them, it's Camelback, Horizon, and PV, which ironically are all home games. So they have 3 home Thursday games.
Oh, that's nice. That'll be easy for me to make sure I go catch one. All right. Here we are. Here, our second team. We get to break down Higley. Look, this is the reason why I say that this is one of my favorite teams. This Coach Zuby has done a phenomenal job in making sure that his guys get the coverage, baiting me and other people out with a variety of tactics and tricks, and always making the media feel so at home in the friendly Higley confines, making sure to get guys out to watch his kids. So absolutely love Coach Zuby for that and the things that he's done. Now, Coach Zuby, with all his recent success, a trip to the Open, back-to-back 5A championships, he finds himself back in the 6A, a much friendlier 6A region than he
it's
left.
not the premier, yeah.
Yeah, and which was absolutely insane when they put him in that. But anyways, I love what Coach Zuby has done over there. He's really built his program back up the right way, I would say. Done an amazing job bringing some guys up. He's got co-offensive coordinators helping him out, Coach Cañas and Coach Sarmiento. Sarmiento definitely one that has grown through the program, was a backup quarterback for Kai Milner for a few years, and then came in, took over the freshman program, and did a variety of things. He's got Coach Baker as longtime DC, and one of my favorite wide receiver coaches out there, Coach Russell, an absolute dog. This schedule, fully loaded, especially up front. We get to start off with Highland.
And that's on a Thursday, by the way, too. It's been changed since that original one came out. So, and that is their only Thursday game is August 28 at home against Highland.
This is a heck of a way to start the season off. Highland traditionally tough.
Yeah, welcome back to 6A. Yeah,
Coach Farrell does a great job over there. They get Highland at home, and then Higley gets to go take a trip to Nevada so they can beat the brakes off of Coronado. I think that they're going to beat the brakes off of Coronado.
Yeah, Coronado, it's in Las Vegas area, by the way. 7-5 last season, but they lost their starting quarterback, their top 4 rushers, and their top 3 receivers.
Yeah, I definitely think that Higley could beat them by 6 or 7 touchdowns. After that, they get Mesa on the road, and then back home for a nice little homestand versus Pinnacle. And then this game that you have circled, Mountain View and Brady Goodman, who's an absolute stud. And I have another little fact and tidbit for you that you might not know. So I'm going to let you go ahead and break this game down a little bit, go inside the numbers on this Mountain View Higley matchup.
I don't know if Eddie Zuby's ever lost to Mountain View because he probably hasn't played them very many times, if at all. But Mountain View, of course, the Toros played for the 6A title last season. Looked to be a team that's going to be a threat to try to make the Open this year. They returned the combo of Brady Goodman, 43 TD passes last year, and receiver Talon Arnett, who had 1,200 yards and 24 TD catches.
That's absolute. Those numbers are insane. Talon Arnett is an absolute problem for secondaries. Absolute problem. But I don't know, the Higley Penitentiary, they like problems like that. So after that, Higley gets Saguaro on the road, and then they get to come back home.
They have a bye week after Saguaro.
Oh, they do. They're off.
Well, it's not on there, but it would mess up the nice look of the schedule. But they do have a bye in between Saguaro and Brophy.
And then they get the extra time to prepare for Brophy, which is good because they're going to need that extra time to prepare, to give the Penitentiary time to figure out Dalen Sharper and Devin Fitzgerald, who I think might be the best senior high school football player in the state. After that, on the road versus Shadow Ridge, taking the long trip out to see our guy Coach.
And then may as well go back to Vegas.
And then true facts. And then at home versus Williamsfield in the black and blue game. I'll let you go inside the numbers on this. This Williamsfield team is phenomenal.
Rivalry game there. Higley won this game 41-7 last year. The Knights have won 3 straight in the series. But of course, this Williamsfield team has 2 Division I running backs and 3 Division I offensive linemen. So it'll be a different type of a test for the Higley defense in this one.
And a super special quarterback, Don Barjona, who's an absolutely phenomenal thrower. And then a fleet of nice wide receivers led by my guy, Trey Smith, who I think is an absolute
But they're going to be a team that runs first.
Well, facts. No, you're right. I just wanted to make sure.
Maybe Brophy or Mountain View.
I just wanted to make sure that we showed some of those other guys some love that will contribute sure. Coach Campbell's an amazing coach. after that, and the defense is going to be solid. Shout out to Coach Hunter. After that, they get this Centennial team who is going to be looking for a new quarterback. But by November 7th, they should have figured that whole thing out.
They better have it figured out by November 7th. And that's a freedom game thrown in the end of that there. It's a 5-team region with Saguaro, Brophy, Shadow Ridge, and Williams Field.
Okay. Well, look, I love this for Higley because by November 7th, Centennial will have figured out their quarterback situation. Is it going to be the senior Ethan Beltran, or is it going to be the young fella Titus
Hill?
Titus Hill. I think that Titus is absolutely special. He's looking like he's a shade under 6'2", and I think that Ethan is fully capable of commanding this offense too. So good problem to have. Good problem to have having quarterbacks. So not having a shortage of arms. So this Higley team, led by their own superstar quarterback, Gunnar Fagrell, who is 15-2 as a starter. I know you knew that, but I just wanted to throw that number out.
I could have checked on that. I knew he's been very good, and I know this is the first time that he hasn't had to either battle with someone or have to wait in the wings heading into a season.
Yeah, but he likes it like that. And his only two losses.
I think a comfort level will be nice too.
Yeah, it's nice to be comfortable after grinding it out for a few years. His only two losses to Desert Edge and Liberty. That's not bad. That's
bad at all. Teams that they got some rings last season.
Yeah, look, I mean, if I don't know, man, 15-2 as a starter is still 15-2 as a starter. I just think that's cool.
Most of those were his sophomore year.
They also got a backup quarterback athlete, Anthony Palka. Wide receiver, he's also been getting some work at wide receiver and running back, doing a variety of things. And then they got a young kid that came in, transferred from Chandler, Caden Schluter, who led the young guys on Make Your Name Monday during Flight Club, led the young guys to their championship on Monday and did their thing. They got a nice little running back room over there. Antonio Young, Jackson Watkins. I think that both these guys super capable of making plays and doing things. And then a fleet of receivers that can absolutely go, led by John Asaro, who I think is going to be an absolute nightmare and is going to put some numbers up. I think that this is going to be the favorite target for Fagrell. After that, you got Daniel Zuby. You got Jaden Idu, who's related to Donovan Idu. I think it's the cousin. I'm not sure. Landon Banks, Cam Richardson, Keegan Peterson, all guys that have done things on the 7th Circuit and really contributed. I love what Keegan Peterson has done since his injury. He's just got to tighten some things up. I think that he's going to be a problem down the line and contribute this year and do some things. Cam Richardson also. And look, Daniel Zuby, I think coach's kid.
Is and the last Zuby coming through?
Possibly.
We've had at least a couple.
This one on offense. The last one we dealt with was Andrew, who absolutely flourished his last 2 years. And I expect much of the same from Daniel. I expect much of the same from Daniel. I think that this is going to be his opportunity, his time to shine, and he's really going to take advantage. I think that, playing opposite Asaro is going to be a good look for him, and I think that he's going to be able to help bring up some of these younger guys. After that, this was originally what I thought was going to be the weakest part of the team, but I have changed my mind. I don't think it's the weakest part of the team anymore. They got their offensive line trying to put this thing together. Brody Frias, this kid is 6'5", 330 pounds, has lost 25 pounds though to get to that 330. An absolute project, but a 6'5" project is always good to work with. A pair of offensive linemen making their way up from an undefeated JV team. Eli Marshall, Robbie Brown. These guys should be immediate contributors in some capacity for this offensive line. Isaiah Fuentes at 26, that's going to help lead this team. Braden Villalobos, transfer from Campo Verde. He's going to have to sit 5, but going to be an absolute dude. And then Stephen Farrell, not to be confused with Fagrell, a 6'3", 245, absolute dog. I think he's like 6'5", 265. An absolute dog, transferred from ALA Ironwood, where he originally played center, and I'm anticipating that he's probably going to play tackle or something more on the outside of the line. And then what's it called? Flipping to that defensive line, an absolute stud, Jaden Rhodes. He's 6'3", 245, creates havoc in the backfield, an absolute dog. Jack Marquez making this switch from offensive line to nose tackle. This kid he's a big boy. I'm gonna let you get into those numbers
over
yourself.
300 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, 330, gonna clog the middle, like gonna clog the middle. Linebacker, they got a bunch of them. The twins, Adam Cooper, Aaron Cooper, Dax White, Andrew Hines, who's a transfer from D Ridge. They got some dudes. Another guy that I think is going to help contribute, making his way up, is a defensive back, safety nickel type, Brock Bascom. He's got positional versatility, about 6 footish, 185. He's moving faster than he did last year. And then there's the rest of that Higley Penitentiary that we love so much. The last few years, they've had one of the best secondaries in the state. Nasim Eason, 6'2", lengthy. He can make up ground, loves to gamble, loves to bait quarterbacks into throwing the pass. Justice Brathwaite, who I think might be the best pure cover guy in the state, former Flight Club MVP, BYU commit. Bryson Wilkinson, a 6'2", 100-meter track guy, playing some safety. Joran Harris. And then they got a phenomenal kicker who's just going to be kicking that thing out the end zone. Caden Olson. Look, I think that this team, like I said, I thought that their weakness was going to be on the offensive line, but I think that they got some dudes, a nice little blend, and I think that they're going to be able to figure this thing out. Gridiron, I'm going to let you really go inside the numbers and break some of these things down and teach us a little bit about the Higley Knights as they make this transition to the 6A.
Yep, we're looking at Higley 7-4 last season. Made the Open Division playoffs for the first time, lost to Liberty 64-26. Higley has made the playoffs in 10 of the last 12 seasons. Head coach Eddie Zuby now in his 16th year with the Knights, and they are now in the 6A Central, as we mentioned, moving up from 5A. Quarterback Gunnar Fagrell, the senior, 1,286 yards, 11 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. I counted him with 4 starts last season. Career 44 touchdown passes. Has an offer from Cornell, went to a camp this summer at Oklahoma State. Running back Jackson Watkins, a junior, 228 yards, 3 TDs last season. Wide receiver John Asaro, senior, 17 catches, 236 yards. You mentioned all the receivers, and certainly people's numbers are going to go up because their top 4 wide receivers all graduated from last year's team. Defensively, you got defensive end Jaden Rhodes, the senior, 85 tackles, which led the team, 11 tackles for loss, 6 sacks and a fumble recovery. And then the secondary with Justice Brathwaite, senior, 39 tackles, 3 interceptions, BYU commit. And then Naz Eason, a junior, 22 tackles, has a total of 9 offers, including ASU, Louisville, Kansas, and Kansas State.
Man. This schedule, they got some teams on here that I got some questions on how they're going to handle. 2 of them coming in the second half. And these aren't the only teams that I think that Higley might struggle with, but 2 of them coming in the second half that I want to point out. This Brophy matchup and this Williamsfield matchup. One thing that I do love about their schedule, and I'm going to give bulletin board material to 4 Arizona teams on here and 1 out-of-state team that's going to get blasted anyways. I think all their toughest games are at home. I would argue that all their toughest games now are all at home.
Pinnacle, Mountain View, Brophy, Williamsfield. The Centennial games on the road, but yeah. Yeah,
the Centennial. I would just argue that if you grabbed any analyst, if you grabbed Adam Beadle, or if you grabbed Cody or Zach or anybody, if you talk to anybody and said, hey, pick out the 5 toughest games on Higley's schedule, I would guarantee at least 4 of those 5 toughest games, maybe all 5 of them, are at home for Higley, which I love for Higley. I love that for Higley. But the thing is Williamsfield,
and they certainly bring the crowd in their home games too.
They do. They have that place rocking. I love what Coach Zuby has done to create the atmosphere and the culture over there for the students, the student section, all that stuff, the families. I love what Dilly has done to make that place so friendly for the team. I'm going to let you pick first. I'm looking at the schedule. I have some questions. I'm
Yeah,
gonna let you pick
there's
first.
definitely some tough games in their return to 6A here. Playing. I mean, I know they finally made the Open last year, and it was weird that they made it going 6-4 when they had better records the previous years, but ended up being in the 5A bracket and winning it, of course, in both 22 and 23. This is different than when they were in 6A last time, when they had to play all the Chandler District teams. I'm
Yeah,
going to go 6-4.
6-4. Okay, okay. I don't feel as bad now because I'm gonna take Higley to be 7-3. Um, there are some, like I said, even though all their tough games are at home, I just the thing I worry about is these tough games are kind of timely, and I don't like the positioning of some of them. So I'm going to take 7-3. I do think that this team could squeeze 8-2, but I don't think they can. I don't think they could do 9. I don't think they could do 9. I'm trying to take a look at this thing here. There's 2 games that I have penciled for a loss, and there's 1 game that I think is 50-50. Yeah, I'm gonna say 7-3.
Okay.
I think they're 7-3, and I think that
7-3 might put them in that 5-8 range, which is important because the way that the 6A playoffs are going to work this year, for those that don't know, you got the top 4 teams in the PowerPoints are going to move on to the Open, and then you're going to have a playoff week of teams 5-12. And the winners of the 5-12 games will be the other 4 teams in the Open, and you'll have an 8-team Open. The losers of the 5-12 games will then move on to the 6A bracket against the winners of the 13-20 games, is how that works. The top 20 make the playoffs. If you're 13, you're locked into the 6A bracket. If you are 12, you have a chance to make the Open. And if you're top 4, you get a week off and you make the Open.
man, this is such like a weird stretch. These 4 games are such like a weird stretch for them. Pinnacle, who has like 17 quarterbacks, Coach Zupke has to deal with over there. And obviously he won't have to worry about like the transfers or whatever, but he has a bunch of arms over there. And
right.
Then you have to deal with an absolute classic pocket passing stud with Coach Litton and company and Brady Goodman. And then you have to deal with Marcel Jones, super athlete Marcel Jones, who can make plays with his feet also. And also is one of the best quarterbacks in the state, the Sacramento State commit. And then you get a bye week to prepare for Case Vanden Bosch, who can also
and all those
throw the heck out of the ball to those great receivers that they have. Mm-hmm. And Tim Tebow you between the tackles and absolutely bowl your guys over.
Run the ball too, yeah.
And they also and Brophy also has one of my favorite running backs, Harrison Chambers here.
Yep.
Pinball. I think that just having to deal with him and I just think that's an absolute nightmare of a stretch.
And then you got the finish with Williamsfield and Centennial back to back.
No, for sure.
And they're not playing Williamsfield the last game of the season. So you're gonna go from having to avoid a letdown going to Peoria to play Centennial that last game of the season, no matter how the Williamsfield game goes, because it's such a big rivalry.
So are you thinking that are you thinking just early thinking that Williamsfield might be a trap game?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
They're going to be up for Williamsfield. If there's a trap game, it's the game before that against Shadow Ridge. A trap game is where you might overlook the opponent because you're looking ahead to the next week. There's no way.
I thought you were worried about them looking ahead to the Centennial situation since that's the actual last game of the season. That's why I asked if you thought
you get all amped up. You put everything into that Williamsfield game. It'll be senior night. and you got, especially if it ends up being a close game one way or another, and then you turn around 7 days later and you got to go play, that Centennial team that always has they're a physical team. Got to go play them up at their place.
If that Williams Field game is close, I lean Higley. If that Williams Field game is a blowout, I kind of lean Williams Field. I kind of lean Williams Field. I mean, I think that game's going to be tough no matter what. But man, that 4-game stretch from Pinnacle to Brophy is just the quarterbacks that they're going to have to deal with and stuff. I just think it's crazy. So I just think it's tough. I'm gonna hold firm at 7. I'm not gonna let Gridiron convince me to be a hater. So so Gridiron got 6. I got 7. Oh no! Yeah, John Asaro jumped in. He said bet.
Should have a huge season.
Season. Hey, John, for whatever it's worth, I think that you're going to go off this year.
It is his time. Yes.
I know he's been dealing with a little injury, but I think that John Asaro is going to be like a 1,200-yard type receiver. I think that he's going to catch a bunch of touchdowns. I think that him and Gunner are going to be an absolute nightmare for teams. I expect John Asaro to be the one that leads that receiver room. And really opens things up.
Last year they were pretty split. You had JT, you had Walton, and you had DeCosmaker. All 3 of those guys had over 500 yards receiving last season. So it had depth.
Yeah, but John's
had Tavion Suing there too, but he only played a few games.
Yeah, but John's ready to. It's weird because
is last year the Higley team that made it to the Open had a lot of success. They got it by spreading the ball out.
Yeah, and look, I think that the success of this offense is going to come through John opening things up for those running backs to get loose. He's going to have to take a lot of attention, make some big plays, scare some defenses and defensive coordinators, and open things up early. I think early in the season we're going to see John Asaro go off for some big numbers. I would say his first 3 or 4 games, he's going to blow up. This is going to be a kid that we're good. And he's going to put everybody on notice. And I'm not trying to be funny. It just happens to be the numbers that I have to use. First 4 games, I'm going to guess 6 or 7 touchdowns. And then we're going to be looking at the Mountain View game where it's going to be the big matchup between Arnett and Asaro. Defenses are going to have to deal with AA, right? So and they might literally deal with AA having to deal with Asaro on one side and then Arnett on the other. So look, I think that Asaro is really going to put people on notice, and then he's going to open things up for the rest of his fleet of receivers where he's going to see the double coverage.
You got depth.
Where he's going to see the double coverage, and then Zuby's going to do his thing, and then Peterson, hopefully by then, will be a contributor of sorts. I think that he's got to get a little bit thicker and make sure that he puts on that good weight from the weight room. But look, I expect John to be a leader and take games over. He's going to take games over and really open some eyes. And then obviously this is where all the recruiting stuff comes in. And his first 3 or 4 games, the highlights I think are gonna be a problem. So no, hey, can't sleep on Adu either. We talked about Jaden. We talked about Jaden. Think that he's an absolute stud. Those are just some of the the way I think this room is built. I just think that some of those guys at the bottom need to not just settle for grabbing 2 catches in a game or 1 catch in a game, moving the chains once. I think that a kid like Keegan Peterson needs to come in and try to eat, not steal food off the plate, but try to eat and take advantage of opportunity when he sees the 4th or 5th best defensive back covering him. Kids like Peterson, kids like Cam Richardson, those are guys that really need to wake up and contribute and eat off of what Asaro, puts on their plate.
Higley's offense is normally designed to throw the ball.
Yes.
And they're normally designed, to have a lot of completions. They had 8 games last season where they had more than 20 completions in the game.
Hey,
so and most of them weren't going to running backs. So that's what you're splitting up. Your 21, 22 receptions amongst the whole receiving corps.
Hey, listen, Zuby has been an absolute dream for high school quarterbacks in the time there, at least from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
He's had absolute monsters at quarterbacks, guys that I've absolutely loved, and then guys that I haven't even seen really that were like before me, like Mason Crosby, who threw for like 2,000 yards in one game, and then also like Spencer Brash, who went to Cal, Kai Milner, who went to Cal, what's it called? Luke Halgo obviously went to U of A. Gunnar Fagrell, Jamar Malone. Jamar Malone only accounted for 5,000 yards. Like, if you're a quarterback and not going to Higley, like, what are you doing? Like, if you're not entertaining the idea of playing at Higley, like, make sure you're going somewhere that's going to give you opportunity, because all you're doing by being a quarterback going to Higley, and I'm not trying to spoon feed quarterbacks to Higley, because clearly Coach Zuby hasn't had a problem developing them. I'm just saying, like, all these guys have made their name. Jamar Malone, wildly successful in that Higley offense.
Sac State now.
Currently committed to Sac State.
Right.
And
I'm assuming he's there because they started camp already. So.
Oh yeah. So I just keep forgetting.
He was a 25. Yeah,
he was a 25, and was an absolute dog. His sophomore year, 5,000 yards, almost 5,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people are gonna try to kill me and say, "Oh, Chili, it was only 4,733 yards," but whatever. Like, my man, brought them their first championship. Listen, the only thing that is happening over at Higley that I can tell you is defensive linemen are getting developed, quarterbacks are getting developed, and he has an absolute crazy situation going on with defensive backs where these guys are absolute nightmares. The Higley Penitentiary going on its 3rd year. Like, I don't know. I don't know what else to say, but there's that. I got them for 7 wins. John Asaro is not happy about it and is going to hand deliver 8 or 9 wins to us and come back to us on the show and be like, "Hey guys, you had 6, you had 7.
Yep.
Run it back. Run the tape back."
Did, see?
Well, hey, look, if they get 8, I'm safe. You're not safe, but I'm safe.
I'm not safe. No.
Hey, but listen,
I'll be surprised by a couple of games if that happens.
I just think the world of what's going on over there with this program. A lot of those kids and Asaro's worked his ass off to get to this situation where he can go out there and literally let everybody know that he's the guy, that this team is counting on him to be a 1,200 yard, 12 touchdown, 14 touchdown. Maybe like a couple of years ago when they had 2 receivers go out for 20 touchdowns, where he can be one of those. Listen, in that 15-2, somewhere mixed up in that 15-2 for Gunnar Fagrell, I know that there's been like 3,000. I think that he's going to throw for 3,000-ish yards, 30 touchdowns. I think Gunnar's going to go off too. This is going to be a guy that at the end of the season, I absolutely love him. This kid's an absolute stud. And the way that he got here, man, that is an absolute Disney story. That is an absolute Disney story.
There were obviously a couple opportunities where he could have transferred.
And he didn't.
And he didn't.
Stayed loyal to the soil.
He did have a 3,000 yard season his sophomore year. That was when he took over like a couple games into the season. So he didn't start the whole season, but he finished it. Yeah.
No, and he finished it right. Listen, 2 Flight Club championships. One of the more decorated quarterbacks in Flight Club. I'm always grateful for Gunnar. Definitely going to bring him back. Hopefully, as a 4-second guy, but absolute special kid. But listen, we got John Asaro in the chat, and I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. I think that this kid, he's going to be one of those guys that leads this team. All the pressure's on him. You want to cut this thing up and put the bulletin board material on your bulletin boards for your secondaries. Don't get cooked by Asaro. He will do that emerald and bang, big play. Just so you know, he will absolutely cook some secondaries. As long as he's healthy, just got to stay healthy.
It's over 3 weeks away, the Highland game.
Hey, and I know he can't wait. Now I know he definitely can't wait. And Antonio Young, I know we got him in the chat too. This is a kid that went out to Ohio State and was absolutely was absolutely doing things. He went to an Ohio State camp and opened some eyes and turned some heads. Coach Lachlan, everybody over there. So, look, Higley's got dudes, and this is going to be a lot of fun to watch them develop over the season. I know that, like you got them at 6, I got them at 7, but this is a team that, could pop off for 8. And if the ball bounces their way a little bit, who are we to say that that Fagrell, who is for the most part, I know that Halgo is there, but yeah, for the most part, has taken them to two 5A championships to open and 2 Flight Club championships in the offseason, whatever that's worth. Like
it would be one 5A championship. Jamar Malone was the QB of the other.
Jamar got the other one. That's right. So, but
that would have been Gunner's freshman year, the first one.
But that's right, because it was Fagrell and the other kid. That's right. But look, the kid's an absolute dynamite athlete, dynamite quarterback, and he's grown, really filled out. I think that he's an absolute stud. So there's that. We got Higley, McClintock broke down the 2 schedules.
Mm-hmm.
Gridiron. Anything else going on? Otherwise, we got one more week of schedule breakdowns, correct?
One more week of schedule breakdowns, and then the following week we'll take a look at a couple of the 2A, 3A games, which will begin on the 21st and 22nd.
Oh man! And then we're gonna break those down. Man, it's happening so fast. It is happening so fast.
Well, the teams put up the helmets yesterday for the first time on the big schools. So
I saw the coach from Mesquite saying that it's too hot to be practicing early, so they're doing like 6:30.
That's a good idea. If the temperature is going to be 110 degrees, to either make your practices early in the morning, or to make them. And even if you look at like 8 o'clock, like right about now, if teams are finishing up practice, it's still like 102 degrees out.
Man, hey, well, what's it called?
Next week, it's not supposed to be as hot. We're supposed to catch a little bit of a cooler break next week.
Drink lots of water, and as long as you aren't Gridiron, grab you some Pocari Sweat. Some Pocari Sweat. This stuff is it's a hydration drink. It's a hydration drink. It's got a lot of sugar in it, but this stuff's absolutely amazing. If you're not going to drink Gator Light, Pocari Sweat is the way to go. Shameless plug. They always show love. So there's that. Other than that, Gridiron, is there anything else going on that we should be paying attention to or talking about that you can think of? No,
I can't think of anything right now. No.
All right. Well, I know Gridiron, you got a lot of things going on websites and in the internet. What projects will you be doing this season?
This season, of course, the manual scoreboard will be back on
obviously
Friday nights on Twitter. I'll be doing game write-ups for the new Arizona Varsity, which is now part of the On3 network. And then I'll be doing some feature articles for Sports 360 AZ as we come across some stories during the season.
Absolutely cooking. And then obviously we got Inside the Numbers segment going on.
What we'll be doing right here on the 2-piece on Tuesday nights and breaking down 2 games, and also having a feature spotlight player of the week, which will begin in 2 weeks.
Currently undefeated.
Coming up on the 19th.
Currently undefeated. If you are an Inside the Numbers spotlight player, that means that your team is going to win. That is almost like the guarantee that your team is going to win. It's a kiss of death for the other team, for the opponent. So there's that. Anyways, big target now on whoever the Inside the Numbers spotlight guy is. And
bulletin board material up they want. It's an O right now. O for them.
Oh, sheesh. We're about to find out. All right, Gridiron, I appreciate you hanging out, and I'm going to catch up with you down the line next week. Our final-ish schedule breakdowns, our final 2 big school schedule breakdowns, because we're doing big schools. We're back to the big schools next week. And
we're talking the small schools the next week.
The week after next week. So
2 weeks. Yeah, the next week. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Gridiron. I'm going to catch up with you. And then also we're going to do our annual grab some food. Grab some food day. So
not part of the show, but yeah.
No, it's not part of the show. But I just figured out I'd let everybody know. You'll probably be able to catch us at DeFalco's, the only DeFalco's. So the deli. So Gridiron, I'm gonna catch up with you down the line. Shout out to Gridiron using the Flight Club ice shaker bottle. That thing's phenomenal, by the way.
Stuff,
ice shaker bottle is absolutely the best. Gridiron, I will catch up with you in 6 or 7 days. All right. Shout out to my guy Gridiron, bringing the humor and stuff, and joining in on the 6-7 humor. Anyways, I stopped by BJ Media's media day at the A facility in Mesa, which is expanding and looks absolutely amazing already. But it is going to be more amazing. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be more amazing. It's going to be more amazing. So, listen, I wasn't like an English major. That wasn't my thing. So there's that. But I was asked, like, trusted media people to support, follow, whatever. There's the entire Arizona Varsity Network that you should definitely support and show love to. Currently, I think it's like Adam Beadle, Zach Elvira, Ralph Amson at AZHSFB. Show them love. And Cody Cameron. There is the entire Sports 360 AZ team, which is led by Brad Sesmat. And I think Cody Cameron also does some stuff there. And then Brett Quintine. Also is part of the Arizona Varsity squad and Gridiron Arizona, as he said earlier. And I don't know who else is part of that team. There's Claudia Collins, Jordan Spurgeon. Jordan Ham, I don't think is doing as much stuff. Eric Sorensen does stuff, contributes. Obviously, I think the team at AZ Central, led by Richard Obert, who's like the heritage guy, if you will. Not heritage like the high school, but the heritage guy to follow and support and whatever. That handles a lot of the high school sports, prep sports stuff. And that's really just for football. There's a bunch of other guys that contribute to the scene that I just can't think of. There's like the West Side Sports guys, the 480 Sports guys. There's a ton of like videographers and picture guys. I know Pete No is doing a lot of stuff. I'm not sure who he's aligned with, but support. Follow whoever you want to follow. Follow whoever is. Show love to whoever's going to show your kids love is what it is. Tag them in tweets, highlights, whatever. I don't know who the AIA 365 team. I can't remember who all. Jose Garcia. There's just a bunch of people. So if you have questions and you're wondering if you should follow a certain person, feel free to hit me up. But Cam Cox, Lena Washington, all those guys over there at Channel 12, support them. Other than that, your boy Chili at Just Chili, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, support your guy, Just Chili TV, YouTube, TikTok. Make sure that you guys subscribe, hit the follow buttons, create some conversation. I'm always down for that. Other than that, shout out to McClintock Higley. You guys got it in today. Forks up forever. Y'all know the deal.